One. Hey, what's up guys? It's Debo here, ready to do another tutorial video. Thank you so much for watching my other videos and getting them above the 1,000 view mark. I believe my last videos were the zombie dog tall man finger build for poison and fire. Now today I bring to you guys a different build. It involves using the Grim Reaper mask, which is pretty interesting. Now the one thing about the Grim Reaper is very straightforward voodoo mask. It doesn't look too special. Only thing it says is chance to summon horrific mimics when attacking. A patch back, I do believe Blizzard significantly buffed this Grim Reaper and made the mimics actually mimic most of your skills that are on your skill bar, and also be able to perform a lot of the actions of what you do, and also mimic your weapon. Now I still have to double check it just to be sure about the whole weapon thing, but what somebody was explaining to me is that the mimics, if they cast a certain spell that triggers Thunder Fury and you're using a Thunder Fury, they'll trigger it themselves. So, but I still have to pretty much test that out. But for the most part, the mimic can cast most spells in your spell bar, or even, you know, whatever skill you decide to use on your spell bar, with the exclusion of pets and certain things like Big Bad Voodoo, you know, and then it does cast Mass Confusion, but they don't spam them. So I'm thinking, for some spells they just can't cast. Certain spells, a different variety of them, they got like an internal cooldown for them. So basically what we want to do is pretty much utilize, when I was messing around with this build, somebody said, hey Debo, I was using mimics and I had 12 spider queens, and spider queens are quite nutty, right? Because you can only have one spider queen out. A second cast on a spider queen will kill the other one. But when the mimics actually come out, and I can actually show you what the mimics look like, when these guys come out, they can actually see they're mimicking my fire bats. They mimic any of the skills off my toolbar. Not to mention, they'll also mimic the spider queen, and when they throw out the spider queen, since they're a mimic, they're not bound by the rules of the witch doctriness, in which we are only allowed to have one at a time, but the mimics can cast as many as they want. So when I started to play around with this, I started eventually formulating a build and trying to get this into understanding. And the reason why, the reason why it's so good, or what have you not, or the reason why it's so interesting, is that you don't have to worry about casting the spells and they automatically cast the things that you want. They can produce multiple spider queens, and the damage actually ends up turning out to be very good, and it's only one piece of gear. And I think that's the coolest part of it. As soon as you get the Grim Reaper, you can start playing around with the different stuff and enjoying yourself. One second. Cool. So let's go ahead and start this build out. Of course, we got the Grin Reaper. Intelligence, I reroll for crit chance, and I kept the reduction on skills by 6%, which is okay. I got the Ogdo's Shoulder. Now I'm running a lot of poison skills, so I got the Ogdo's Shoulders with the combination of the Ogdo's Surge, which has increased poison damage. I have the Ouroboros with poison damage increase and crit percent chance and crit damage. I have the Tasker and Theo just because it's one of the best gloves I have. Trifecta, good overall stats. We also have Blackthorns. We also have the Blackthorns belt that gives us more elite damage, and then of course the two-piece bonus is pretty nice. And with the Royal Ring of Grandeur, we also got the shoes too, because the shoes rolled really marvelously, and it gives me a lot of tank ability and toughness since we're going to be up close and personal. We have the Stone of Jordan, that increases poison damage and damage versus the elites. We also have the Thunder Fury because it's a good overall weapon. And we have the Zunimasa offhand just because it's a nice one that is pretty tanky. Now, if I really wanted to, I could do this. Actually, I probably should do this, but let me see here. There we go. Thing of the Deep, because it goes with the passes that we have. Now we got Firebat. Firebat, why is Firebat so good for Grim Reaper? Well, it procs them very quickly, as you can see. It's as soon as I start casting, they come out. I'm not saying that they can't be procced by other things really quickly, but just Firebats just seems to get them out very fast. If you'd like to switch that around and use something different in your versions of the Grim Reaper build, that's perfectly fine. I like using Firebats, even though I know I'm running mostly poison stuff. We got Piranhas with Paranado, so we can Paranado everything, and everything gets put in one giant pile, then we can Firebat it down. Okay, Spirit Walk with Jaunt, Acid Cloud with Acid Rain, Corpse Spider Queen, Zombie Charger. None of these spells we're going to cast. We're going to let the mimics auto cast that. Now for the stats, or for, I'm sorry, for the passives, we're going to run Pierce Surveil. We're also going to run Grave Injustice, and we're going to run Fetish Sociopaths, and then I also have Fierce Loyalty just to make the farming go quicker. In most cases, I would recommend Spirit Vessel until you have a nice amount of toughness, but at Torment level 3 with this amount of toughness and this much damage, we don't really have to worry about much. So let's go ahead and open up that portal. And, I mean, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We're just going to clear it out real fast. I might even just go up to the Rift boss and just cut it at that point. There's really no need to fully clear out the whole dungeon. I just want to showcase the build and how it works, and the reason why I like it so much. I don't think it's going to be like the best in like high-end build in the game, but the nicest thing about it is all you need is a Grim Reaper to start off with the build, and then you can add to it, and that's really incredible. Like, you can actually just start doing cool stuff with just one piece of item, you know, just kind of like how Tall Man's Finger is. It's really incredible. So we're going to start using Fire Bats, and the mimics are, as you can see, they start casting a lot of the Spider Queens because they're unlimited. So for them, they can cast as many Spider Queens as they want, and looks like we have about 14 of them out, maybe 15. And you see how they just kind of go after when you have multiple Spider Queens. That's pretty powerful, not to mention we're generating fetishes as well. So that's why I think the helm is so unique and cool, and Blizzard did a real good job with stuff like this, because I mean, somebody could have this and maybe they're looking for the Drum or Jade set and they're just farming lower levels, but hey, they got a Grim Reaper mask and they can use this to actually, you know, start getting stuff done. And since we're using Fire Bats, as you know, as you see, they start casting Acid Cloud, they're casting Piranhas. It basically keeps the mimics on the field of play pretty permanently. I don't know if they have an internal cooldown. I don't think they do, because oftentimes they're not. I see stuff going off all the time, so I don't think they do, but they possibly could do. But you can usually get them right back up. But see, all I'm doing is channeling Fire Bats, and now they're producing spiders. They're casting Acid Cloud, and they're also just casting Zombie Bear Charger, or I'm sorry, Zombie Charger with the Zombie Bear Rune, which is really strong. And with the poison, we can make the damage actually very good. Now, I don't think they take 100% of your actual damage. I think it's a certain percent less, but their damage is very nice. Even though it doesn't match how much damage you would do casting this spell. And one thing you want to do is remember that once you start getting up to Torment level 3, if you want to keep running this build in the sense of the poison version of this build, I don't go higher than 4 with this build, and I have a lot of toughness because I'm constantly putting myself in harm's way. So, I mean, all I have to do is just keep doing Piranado with Fire Bats, killing everything, and channeling. And as long as I keep channeling, they're going to keep doing their thing, and they're going to keep producing everything. Like these, like I said, the spiders, Acid Cloud, Charger. So, for the most part, it's a real laid-back build, and it's something different. There might be some people out there who don't want to necessarily run pets or run certain things like that, or they're looking for something to play, and this might kind of be up your alley, because it's pretty cool how you can produce, you know, all the different effects and how well the mimics fit into making the build unique, fun, and also actually pretty viable. From Torment's level 3 to 1 is actually viable if you run it a different way on T6. But it's not, like I said, it's not going to be like the fastest build in the world in terms of, you know, high-level farming or something like that. But at low-level Torments, it can do very well for itself. And it actually can keep up with everybody else because, I mean, you're producing all these extra effects and stuff like that, and they all have their own individual damage, and you don't even have to worry about, you know, using mana. Because we're using Vampiric Bats with Fire Bats, and the mana is actually free. So, you know, we're not getting a lot of fetishes. I mean, if you like, you could maybe want to use like Reign of Toads or something like that. That could, if you wanted to generate more fetishes, that's one way you can go it. But I like the Fire Bats because they generate them pretty quick. And then if they do Fire Bats too, is actually very strong as well. Reign of Toads is cool. It does generate more fetishes if you'd like to use the Reign of Toads. Reign of Toads don't do as much damage, but they do actually mimic Reign of Toads as well too. So either way, if you want to produce more fetishes, maybe, you know, okay, use Piranado. If you like the Fire Bats more, use that. Like I said, my guides are never the end-all be-all to what you want to run for your Mimic build. It can just, I'm just trying to showcase the build, show its potential, and let people know that, hey, this is something else you could run if you want to be different. And I mean, that's pretty cool. Look, they're casting 2 Piranados. They're casting Spider Queens out. I really like this build a lot, and I probably will be running it a lot because it's just cool to see all the different effects and all the different combinations. Now, you can go fire, and you can go cold with this, but from my personal experience, I just find that poison seems to be the most effective because zombie bear, spider queen, and also acid cloud was never meant to be spammed like this without the cost of your resources. So there goes an acid cloud, there goes another acid cloud, another acid cloud, there goes a Paranado, and you know, it's really an enjoyable build because all you need is one piece of gear for this to work. And I'm all for, you know, having different layers of gear because as in your pursuit for the Jerome, in your pursuit for jade pieces, or in pursuit for whatever build you're trying to go for, hey, this can let you get to Torment 3 or 4 and do well for yourself. And I mean, could you imagine this in a group party? You know, you're helping out in the group, you're casting your fire bats, and the cool thing about it, you don't even have to be close to the monster. You can just generate the fire bats like this, and as long as there's an enemy on screen, those mimics will actually do what they got to do. So I'm back here, and when the mimics, see how the mimics are even casting, even though my fire bats is not landing damage? So I can stand back, generate the mimics, and keep them up and let the mimics do all the damage. Like, I'm not even doing anything. I'm just sitting back and generating the mimics, and the mimics come out and they start casting spells for me. So, I mean, hopefully a lot of people kind of see this video, and just so that they can kind of see like, oh, well, I don't have to just go Jerome. I don't have to go for that. Maybe I want to go mimic build. Maybe I want to, this is the build that I want to do. And maybe this is something that I want to start going towards or something along those lines. And I hope people do, because it's really fun, really enjoyable, and if you build it right, I mean, everything dies pretty well. Like I said, it's not gonna, like I said, I really don't think it's gonna beat out Jerome and beat out Jade set for high tier levels, but this is something that can get you to where you need to go. Plus, I mean, who doesn't like getting free zombie bears and Paranados cast and stuff like that? You know? So, like I said, that's why I mean, I know I keep reiterating this. It's just so cool how you can have one helmet and it can do all this potential. But I guess you could say the same thing about Jerome and the same thing about Quetzalcoatl, because once you get those helmets, they make a big difference. And big kudos to Blizzard for making such a cool helmet for the Witch Doctor. This is something a Witch Doctor should have, like mimics and everything that can copy what you're doing. And there's a lot of Witch Doctors out there that kind of maybe want to run no pets. This could be a good build for you that run no pets. And then if you know, I'm not even saying that, like for me, I think the physical version of this is better for T6 with a Rhino Flailer. It makes it actually pretty straightforward and viable, but I'm pretty sure somebody could figure out how to get this to T6 and make it pretty viable. But I mean, for the most part, you're gonna have the easiest time running the physical version of this build to get where you need to go. So we got the Rift Boss out. We're going to drop a Paranado on it, and we're just going to fire bat it down. And as they're casting zombie bears, they're casting multiple spiders, they're casting fire bats, they're casting acid cloud again. You know, we're just sitting back here chilling and just channeling fire bats. Now we're going to have to move because of this, but he's dead. And then, like I said, it's also nice because we got a couple extra fetishes to help us out. So, I mean, the fetishes you can actually swap out if you don't like them. If you like to get more fetishes, you can use Rain of Toads. I just like fire bats more because when they channel fire bats together, it just makes it look like really cool. Look how big that fire bat is. And the cool thing about their fire bat, when they actually move, they cast it while moving. So, as you saw, everything went pretty straightforward. Of course, it's only Torment level 3. Okay. You know, but like I said, I just wanted to bring a little highlights to this build, or to the helmet. It deserves more recognition than what it's getting, and if we can just get the information out there, then we can have a lot more people actually looking forward to using this item, or maybe somebody out there that sees it and it's like, oh, let me type in Diablo 3 Grim Reaper tutorial. Okay, oh shoot, I found the build. Oh man, this is great. So, you know, now people will start testing waters out a little bit more, and then maybe they'll start you know, experimenting with it, and maybe some new Witch Doctors, when they get to 70, maybe the first priority for them is to get a Grim Reaper helmet so they can run this build, so they can start getting through the environments and start gearing up for what they want to do. Anyways, I'm Debo. Thank you guys for checking out this quick little video. This will be the video where this is running the poison build of the Grim Reaper, and that's good for, like I said, mostly torments 4 to 1. 1 to 4 is pretty good. And the next other video, I'm going to run the Grim Reaper build on T6 with the Rhino Flailer, and just showcase that and how it's viable at T6. So I appreciate you guys watching.